No one in Hollywood was prepared for the sentence that slipped from Jamie Dornan's lips. Softly, almost unintentionally, yet powerful enough to freeze an entire room. During what was supposed to be a routine interview, he paused, smiled to himself in a way that felt strangely nostalgic, and mentioned, "Someone who was important to me for 8 years, someone I kept private." The interviewer blinked, stunned. Fans watching from home felt their hearts stop. And within minutes, the internet erupted into the biggest Jamie Dornan scandal of the decade. For years, Jamie had built a reputation as the guarded, disciplined actor who separated his personal life from the chaos of showbiz. He rarely shared anything beyond surface-level anecdotes about his career or family. Yet this unexpected confession cracked the mask he had worn for so long. Suddenly, the man who never revealed anything had dropped a bombshell of historic proportions. And Hollywood wasn't going to let it pass unnoticed. Speculation spread like wildfire. Who was this mystery woman? Was she from the industry? Was she someone he met on set? Had she been around all these years without anyone noticing? Fans immediately began digging through old footage, behind-the-scenes clips, red carpet photos, and interviews from nearly a decade ago. They searched for hints, a glance, a smile, a name, a shadow in the background. The idea that Jamie had kept a romance hidden for 8 long years sent shockwaves through his global fanbase. Rumors pointed back to an event 8 years prior, a charity gala where Jamie had been photographed speaking intimately with a woman whose face was partially turned away from the camera. At the time, tabloids ignored the moment, assuming she was simply a fan or acquaintance. But now, that single blurry image resurfaced everywhere, analyzed frame by frame. People claimed they saw something in the way Jamie leaned toward her, in the slight smile she gave him, something unmistakably personal. Sources began chiming in anonymously. One claimed Jamie had met the mystery woman during a low-key industry gathering, where they had talked for hours without realizing how much time had passed. Another said she wasn't an actress at all, but someone connected to the creative side of filmmaking. A few whispered that the connection between them had been immediate, intense, and impossible for Jamie to forget. Whether the sources were real or fabricated hardly mattered. The narrative had already taken on a life of its own. The most shocking part, however, wasn't that Jamie had fallen for someone secretly. It was that he had managed to hide the relationship for 8 entire years. In Hollywood, where private lives are dissected daily and paparazzi lurk in every shadow, secrecy of that level is almost impossible. The idea that he had protected this woman from the spotlight for nearly a decade made the story even more intriguing. It wasn't just a romance, it was a carefully guarded secret. People began to revisit moments from Jamie's past interviews, searching for clues they had missed. In one clip, Jamie spoke about someone who understood him better than anyone. At the time, fans assumed he was talking about a colleague or friend. But now, that moment was being replayed everywhere with new meaning. His expression, once dismissed as casual admiration, was now perceived as a confession hidden in plain sight. Journalists scrambled to piece together a timeline. They discovered that during certain years, Jamie had frequently traveled alone for work-related events. Some commentators wonder whether these trips masked secret meetings with the woman. At the same time, fans noted that Jamie had occasionally disappeared from public view for short stretches, periods that now seemed suspiciously aligned with the rumored relationship. It felt like puzzle pieces were falling into place. What surprised fans even more was how naturally Jamie spoke about her in the interview. There was no nervousness, no hesitation, just a quiet sincerity that hinted at a deep emotional connection. It sounded like he wasn't naming her, not because he wanted to hide her, but because the feelings involved were too personal to casually reveal. That single moment of honesty suggested a love that had shaped him in ways the public never knew. As the interview clip went viral, Hollywood insiders began calling it one of the most unexpected revelations of the year. Some praised Jamie for being vulnerable. Others criticized him for opening a door that could cause chaos in his current personal life. Fans debated whether this romance overlapped with his marriage, or if it existed before or after certain milestones. Unanswered questions piled up rapidly, each one fueling new theories. By the end of the day, the only thing the world could agree on was this: Jamie Dornan had been carrying a secret, an emotional, intimate, complicated secret, for 8 long years. And now that the truth had slipped into the open, nothing in his public or private life would ever be the same. Hollywood is left with one burning question. Who is the woman powerful enough to remain hidden for 8 years? And why did Jamie choose this moment to reveal her? The moment Jamie mentioned an 8-year secret romance, Hollywood immediately turned its attention toward the one question no one could escape. Who is she? The identity of the mystery woman became the most sought-after secret in the entertainment world. Reporters dug through archives, fans created theories, and insiders teased fragments of information that only made the curiosity grow stronger. And slowly, a picture began to take shape, one that shocked even the most devoted followers of Jamie Dornan. According to early whispers, the woman wasn't a headline actress or a traditional celebrity. She was someone who moved in the shadows of the film industry, a creative professional, deeply connected to storytelling but rarely seen in front of the camera. People who claimed to have met her described her as warm, intelligent, and striking in a subtle way that didn't need spotlight or fame. The idea that Jamie had been drawn to someone so private, someone so different from the world he lived in, sent fans spiraling into endless fascination. More details emerged from those who claimed to have witnessed early interactions between them. One insider recalled a moment on a film set years ago, when Jamie's eyes lit up in a way he had never shown publicly before. Another remembered seeing them share a quiet conversation in a back corner during a wrap party. Nothing romantic, just an unmistakable comfort and connection between two people who understood each other without effort. It wasn't dramatic, but it was intimate. And sometimes, intimacy whispers louder than scandal. As the rumors intensified, every action from Amelia Warner, Jamie's wife, was scrutinized under a merciless spotlight. Fans noticed she hadn't been active online for days, and when she finally reappeared, her posts were vague and cautious. A simple black and white photo of a cloudy sky triggered thousands of comments demanding answers. Some believed she was sending a message. Others thought she was asking for privacy. But in Hollywood, silence is rarely interpreted kindly. Paparazzi captured Amelia leaving her home with a tense, guarded expression. Tabloids immediately framed it as a sign of heartbreak, writing dramatic headlines about a woman quietly confronting betrayal. No one knew if the narrative was real or exaggerated, but the public had already chosen sides. Some sympathized with Amelia, seeing her as a woman blindsided by an unexpected revelation. Others argued that the secret romance must have existed before the marriage, or outside the timeline, making the situation far more complicated than it appeared. Meanwhile, the mystery woman herself stayed silent. She didn't post cryptic quotes, didn't respond to messages, didn't appear in public. Her absence only added fuel to the fire. It made her feel untouchable, an enigma who had somehow managed to navigate 8 years of secrecy with one of the most recognizable actors in the world. And for many, that silence spoke louder than any confession. Then came the second wave of shock. Another clip from Jamie's interview went viral. When the interviewer pressed him gently, asking whether the secret romance had affected his life in a lasting way, Jamie paused again. His expression softened, almost painfully. And he answered, "Some people stay with you, even when they're no longer in your life." The room fell silent. Viewers replayed the moment over and over, analyzing every flicker in his eyes. Hollywood exploded. Fans questioned whether the romance had ended in heartbreak. Others speculated the woman had walked away, unable to handle the pressure of Jamie's rising fame. Some suggested she might have been the one who insisted on secrecy, refusing to let her identity put pressure on their connection. Whatever the truth was, Jamie's voice carried a heaviness that suggested the emotional scar had never faded. Experts began offering their insights. Relationship analysts argued that a hidden romance lasting 8 years required deep emotional ties. Publicists said Jamie's revelation wasn't accidental. It was cathartic, something weighing on him for too long. Psychologists claimed that long-term secret relationships can shape a person profoundly, even years after they end. Suddenly, Jamie wasn't just a celebrity at the center of gossip. He was a man tangled in human vulnerability, longing, and unresolved memory. Theories also emerged about whether Amelia had known all along. Some believed the couple had already processed the past privately, and Jamie's comment was simply a moment of honesty. Others speculated this revelation might be the beginning of tension within the marriage. Hollywood thrives on drama, and the Dornan household became the unwilling center of it all. But the most gripping part of this unfolding story was the possibility that the mystery woman might still reappear. Reporters claimed she had been contacted by multiple outlets. Fans wondered whether she would speak out, confirm the romance, or defend Jamie from the storm he had accidentally unleashed. Yet she remained hidden, her silence both infuriating and mesmerizing. Now, all of Hollywood is waiting, breathless, restless, electrified by uncertainty. Jamie Dornan has opened a door he kept locked for 8 years. And behind that door lies a story of love, secrecy, sacrifice, and a woman strong enough to stay invisible in a world obsessed with exposure. The world is asking the question Jamie refuses to answer. Is the mystery woman gone forever? Or is she the unfinished chapter that is finally about to return to the light?